Hi everybody, so today we're going to be talking about participatory literacies in the field of aviation. So to start, we'll just simply define what participatory culture actually is. So there's three main components, three main characteristics. The first one is that it needs to be a culture with relatively low barriers to artistic expression and civic engagement. There needs to be strong support for both creating and sharing one's creations. And then there also has to be some type of informal mentorship whereby what is known by the most experienced or the advanced individual is passing that knowledge along to the novices. So there are a few different forms of participatory culture. The first one is going to be affiliations. So this is memberships, both formal and informal, in online communities centered around various forms of media. We have expressions, so this is just simply producing new creative forms. The third one, which I'll go into a little bit more in depth for aviation, is going to be collaborative problem solving. So this is working together in teams, both formal and informal yet again, to complete tasks and develop new knowledge. And then lastly, we have circulations, and this is just how we shape the flow of our media. So with participatory culture in aviation, specifically with flight instruction. So with myself being a flight instructor for over 2 years now, with each of our flight lab courses for BGSU, there are ground topics that the student needs to complete with their instructor one-on-one. We have, of course, our flight time, so again, one-on-one with the instructor and the student in the actual aircraft. And then we also have simulator sessions. So with each course that a student enrolls in for our program, there's both emergency procedure simulator sessions, and then we have just regular non-emergency sim sessions that we use to just further their knowledge of whatever concept or whatever flight maneuvers or characteristics they're currently learning in that course. So at the Flight Center over at just north of campus, we have two simulators within the airport. We have an older Frasca stationary simulator, and then we have also a full motion Redbird simulator. So with this one, the Redbird, the full motion, it's a great way to simulate many, many emergency procedures that students can find themselves in. Hopefully not, but it's possible they could find themselves in while they're flying the actual aircraft. So just a very, very short list of things that we, the instructor, can do, or kill really, within this sim session for our students. We can have engine inoperative procedures and off-airport landings. We could put their engine on fire, both during startup and at cruise altitude. We can fail their hydraulic and electrical systems, and then we can also give the wings and the control surfaces of the aircraft a lot of ice, which changes the aerodynamic characteristics of the airplane quite dramatically. So from the slide before with the forms of participatory culture, the one I want to focus on is that collaborative problem solving. So my student and I are a team. We're a two-man operation, or two-pilot operation, I should say. And it's more on the formal side because it is for a grade. You know, they are being graded on this for this EP sim session. However, I'm still transferring the knowledge that I have with these emergency procedures, and I'm hopefully offering that to my student and them internalizing that information. Now, the cool thing about sim sessions is that although it's not the real thing, so it's not as cool as actually flying a plane, the awesome part is that we can simulate real life scenarios that could happen in the air without involving or without having any of that risk or that high intensity type feel for it without it being included. So with engine inoperative procedures, if I were to cut my student's engine in the sim, they have the most realistic scenario or situation without actually being in the plane. So when you don't involve that risk or that adrenaline that some students may get, they can internalize the information a lot more. So it helps facilitate that nice, hopefully easy transfer of information into their long-term memory a lot easier. If for some reason I were to simulate cutting their engine, if we were in the actual plane or the aircraft, if I just bring the power, the throttle back to idle, the plane's still on, but a lot of times students can get very anxious or very scared at that. So when I'm trying to explain to them in the air, you must do A, B, C, D, or things like that, they're not necessarily internalizing and listening to what I'm saying because they're so focused on what's going to happen. With the sim session, everything, it's a simulation. It's fake. So they can now use that extra mental space where it would have been filled up with that risk and anxiety and actually listen to the information that I'm offering to them. So participatory culture in flight instruction is very prevalent. Like I said, the most common type for us, at least at the Flight Center, is going to be our simulators, but it does help facilitate that collaborative problem-solving type form. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.